Now we move on to criteria 3, and this is pseudoscience does not use the scientific method. And this is my preferred definition, but it's my preferred definition because it goes along with my preferred demarcation criteria, which is use of the scientific method. The Oxford English Dictionary defines pseudoscience as a pretended or spurious science, a collection of related beliefs about the world mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method, you notice the methodology there, or as having the status of scientific truths now have. Once again, it is not that these things that are outside of it are false, but rather pseudoscience would be things that claim they use the scientific method when they do not, or maybe cannot because of the claims they're making. And really the issue here with this definition is just that it's the fact that people are claiming that it follows the scientific methodology rather than claiming that such a thing is true or false. Because in theory, or in principle, you could have things that are not findable by the scientific method, but still could be true, or you could still do interesting scholarly work on. So I want to once again really drive that point home, that whatever the assumptions are, whatever your opinions are about the demarcation problem and about these sorts of things, that's going to influence what things you would see as science or pseudoscience. And this also goes kind of along with Hansen's definition. Now, when we say pseudoscience is something that is not scientific, but its major proponents try to create the impression that it is scientific, we now have a way of connecting this with the definition of scientific, namely that it follows the scientific method. The problem with this definition, even though it's my preferred definition, is to what extent does it need to follow the scientific method to be considered science versus pseudoscience? Say some things make an occasional testable prediction, but in general or most of the time they don't. What does that mean? What about, something like sociology, where it's more difficult to carry out some tests because things are expensive or there are ethical limitations? So we once again get back to these sorts of problems. But once again, this definition of pseudoscience, I think, really gets to the heart of the matter of this idea of not following the scientific method and acting like it does.